Okay, so I'm making this video to showcase a problem that we're having with the outside corners made from um, made through Esley's process. So I think the problem comes from the template, um, but I kind of just like to showcase what's happening and how I've been going about fixing it. So just as an example, this is a 148-degree outside corner using two adaptive units. And let's say we have this condition, right? We have it on our project 63. So what we normally do is come in, switch out the mullion for the right family. So in this case, this left side be this 5129. But as you can see, you get an error. So it says it's automatically resolved, delete the element. So it's not going to be showing up. And why is that? So the reason why that is because you can see here, we have our mullion offset set in our unit, but the mullion itself isn't attached to the mullion offset. So it doesn't know what to do. It essentially freaks out and says, hey, I can't do this. Um, so how do we get it to work? So what I've been doing is going into the family, going to edit, switching out into a front view, going in, and I'll show you right here. Um, if you go to set the mullion offset, like we have, like 2.5, apply, constraints are not satisfied. So you say remove constraints, you can see our mullion didn't move at all. Let me show that one more time. So here's our mullion down here and our image here. Our mullion should be moving with the image along this mullion offset, but it's not locked correctly. So in order to get it locked correctly, all you have to do is go up to align, go over this reference level, press tab, click the mullion offset, come here, don't pick the surface, but tab into it until you get form element edge, click on that, press lock. Oh, sorry. It actually is surface. Maybe it helped to hide this first. And let's click on the edge first. So it's edge and then mullion offset. And now if we turn our image back on, you see it's moving correctly. So that's what we want. So we're gonna, can't save it. I'm just gonna load into my project. And now as you can see, it's coming in correct. So now these right side ones are a little bit more complicated and a little more screwed up. So let's say we get into this guy and we want to change it out for the 5128. Again, we'll get this error. So I'm going to go ahead, go into the family, do an edit. And as you can see, these are relatively complicated because of all the locks that Alan's tool places on these. So again, I'm going to go into the front view and kind of showcase what's going on here. So when you set the mullion offset, first thing that's going to happen is same thing as the last, where the mullion isn't actually tied to that mullion offset plane. So it's going to stay where it is and the image is going to move. But as you can see here, it's actually moving to the right, which is the wrong direction. We want it to be moving towards the left side. So what I do is I take this formula here, I do a Control C, copy that over, say OK. I'm going to take this line and I'm going to shift it over to the left side of these points. Delete formula. Go into here, put that formula back, say apply, say OK. Go back in here, set the mullion offset to 0, hit apply. And then I'm just going to go ahead and delete out my mullion that the program made. So I'm going to completely delete it. I'm going to take my adaptive points and I'm going to move them to the 0, 0 point. I'm going to grab my image. I'm going to isolate it. And I'm going to go in with a model, pick lines. I'm going to start outlining this mullion. Now I just need to get this center line. We go from here, parallel up, again. Now I'm going to hide this and then connect all my lines. So I'm just going to go ahead and hide that, hide that. That should be pretty cool. So now trim extend. Forgot to pick up one of these lines. Nice, so now we have our mullion. So I'm going to isolate this. So you can go down here, isolate element. And now what we're going to do is we're going to dimension this thing as much as we can and lock it. So I'm going to take all the parts, all the lines, doing a line and lock. Lock all these. And what you really want to do is just overkill this, because the reason why we're locking it is because with adaptives, all these lines will get kind of shifted when you lock it to that mullion offset, because some of them will want to stay where they are while it's like pulling other ones. So you really want to dimension it pretty much as you possibly can, until you start getting errors like this is now over constrained or whatnot. And it can be sort of random, but you just want to kind of keep going until it feels as if you can't lock it anymore. So you just keep on going. And you'll be able to test whether all these are locked properly too when you set it to the offset plane. So I'm going to call it like that. Go ahead. Now I'm going to set my mullion offset to something like 2. Click apply. And look at that. It's moving where we'd like it to. So just to test it further, Sweet. So now I'd pop into my 3D view. And since right now it's just, lines, we have to create a form. And then I would lock profiles. And doing a line this face with this point. Then align this, and then align this face with this point. And then I would tab into the mullion, change the material to mullion material. And then let's try loading this in. And there we are. Works like a charm. So hopefully we can get this tool worked out so we don't have to do this every time like I just showcased. But for now, doing this manually seems to work well and allows us to overcome this issue.